You keep replaying the relationship. Stop. Were they a psychopath? Doesn't matter. You stayed. Here are 10 signs. Not to diagnose them. To wake you up. 10. You felt alone in a room full of them. They were there. You still felt invisible. That's a real feeling. But ask yourself, when did you stop speaking up? When did you start accepting silence as connection? Loneliness in a relationship is a signal. You either address it or tolerate it. Tolerating it becomes your choice. 9. They had no long-term friends. Everyone eventually left or was crazy. That's a pattern. But here's the uncomfortable question. Why did you stay when everyone else left? Their inability to keep people is not your problem. Your inability to leave is. Subscribe if you're ready to stop analyzing them and start owning your choices. 8. You apologized constantly. Sorry for being upset. Sorry for needing you. Count your sorries. Then ask, why did you keep apologizing instead of leaving? You taught them that you would absorb blame. That's not victim blaming. That's pattern recognition. You can change that. 7. Your body always knew first. Stomach knots, tight chest, your body screamed. But you ignored it. Why? Honoring your own alarms is a skill. You can learn it. But first, admit you silenced yourself. 6. They were never wrong, but always the victim. Every story ended with them hurt. That's exhausting. But here's the mirror question. Did you ever enjoy being the rescuer? Did being needed feel like love? If you keep dating projects, you might be the common denominator. Not because you're bad, because you're avoiding your own work. 5. They used your secrets as weapons. You shared vulnerability. They stored it as ammunition. That's cruel. But ask yourself, why did you keep sharing after the first time? Trust is earned. You gave it freely to someone who didn't earn it. That's not your fault, but it is your lesson. 4. You stopped having energy for anything else. Hobbies, friends, sleep, all disappeared. You were running on fumes, and you stayed. Blaming them for draining you is easy. Taking responsibility for not walking away is hard, but that's where your power is. 3. You don't recognize old photos of yourself. That person isn't dead, but you buried them by staying in a relationship that asked you to shrink. The question isn't, what did they do to me? It's, what did I allow? Not to blame, to reclaim choice. 2. You still believe it was all your fault. The fact you're still asking, was it me, means you care about self-awareness. That's good. But here's the nuance. You may have made mistakes without being the cause of their abuse. 2 things can be true. They treated you badly, and you ignored warnings you wish you hadn't. Owning the second doesn't excuse the first. It empowers you to never repeat it. 1. You miss them. And that's confusing. The highs were high because the lows were hell. That's addiction, not love. But here's the accountability part. You chose to stay for the highs. You don't have to stop caring. You have to stop choosing people who make you feel crazy. And that starts with looking at your own picker. So where does that leave you? Clarity. You may never know if they were a psychopath. What you can know is whether you're repeating a pattern. Relief. You don't need to figure them out. You need to figure yourself out. That's actually easier because you control you. Useful anger. Stop collecting broken people and wondering why your hands are cut. You are not their therapist, savior, or rehab center. And staying with someone who hurts you isn't noble. It's self-abandonment. Subscribe if you're done being the victim of your own choices. That's the only person you can change. You're not crazy. You're not evil. But you might be the one who kept saying yes to a person who should have heard goodbye a long time ago.